Morning to all present over here. I, Dr. Vandana Nikam, convener of Institution Innovation Council of STEM-COP, welcome our respected principals, sir, faculty members, students, and other participants. IIC of STEM-COP being a key mediator to drive innovation and startup culture at our institute, we have organized an online lecture series on innovation, incubation, and startup by Innovation Ambassador of STEM-COP to guide mentors young minds towards a new facet of this education, that is innovation and entrepreneurship. Our IIC faculty members, Dr. Arpana Patil, Dr. Minal Ghante, and Dr. Aishwarya Deshmukh, completed their training program that was organized by Ministry of Education, and they are now the Innovation Ambassador of STEM-COP. The objective of this program or this training program was to build in-house capacity of our faculty members as a mentors for these innovation and startup activities at our institute. The role of innovation ambassador is to spread message about the innovation and entrepreneurship, bring cognizance about it among the students as well as among the faculty, and strengthen the grassroots innovation ecosystem at the institute. With this objective and the role of innovation ambassador in mind, we have organized this orientation session in this week, and today we will have our first lecture by Dr. Arpana Patil ma'am on innovation. So before we begin with this session, I request Dr. Savan sir to address the audience, and then we can start the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone, colleague, faculty members, and dear students, and today's speaker, Dr. Mrs. Arpana Patil. I hope I am audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
audible.
Okay, fine. I think I'm here just to tell, two important things, before we begin this series on innovation, incubation, and startup. I think it was never before the kind of innovation ecosystem, the way in which it is being built, accelerated, being funded by government, universities, private sector, and then lot of venture capitalists are coming forward and supporting the startups. And we never imagined even 5 years before that India would be, would be taking such kind of steps towards this innovation ecosystem. Now our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has given a mantra to us, which is one step towards, ahead of the innovation, and that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. I think the students from first year to final year are so lucky that when you are studying in your undergraduate or postgraduate programs, you are witnessing such kind of innovation system, the ecosystem wherein you are going to get lot of opportunities to get your ideas conceptualized, get your innovations further incubated, and later on convert them to the enterprises. I think in our own generation, most of us, barring very few, we used to think of jobs, and therefore today we are in jobs. If you all students could think of enterprises, I think this is the right time that you are witnessing, you are into this area, into this filled rather constant motivation through orientation lectures and stimulation, support, everything is available. What is important is that you take up any good idea and further, make it over a period of time as a successful enterprise. Now, what one need to do is to find out the problems. Now, during COVID period, there are a lot of problems which we all are, witnessing. And I'll just tell you one example, and that you will be able to know that how we can identify the problems. I don't know whether I have shared this with the students or not, but a lot of our faculty members are using one small device. I think it is with the 45 or 40 degree angle mirror, which we can fit it to our laptop. And this was quickly designed by the VIT third year students. Now this device, when we put it on laptop, you all students know that particularly organic chemistry teachers, medicinal chemistry teachers, most of them, they are using to draw the structures, schemes, explain certain schematics, and then helping, make you understand better and try to give the feel as if you are attending physical classes in the classroom. So this was a problem that was identified, that how teachers can draw and then that directly transmit to the students, and they could see in their laptops or on the mobile phones. This is very simple. Simple thing which was identified by students, not by the teachers. And within, I think, within I believe 15 days or 3 weeks of time, they started, making large scale production of it, and we purchased it. Similarly, diagnostics and other ancillary products which are required during this COVID period. And we pharmacists, pharmacy students, pharmacy faculty members, I think we have enough background, enough knowledge that you can actually start building any good idea. So my appeal to you all students would be, you take maximum benefit of all such programs which are being conducted online, through online platform, or once you come back to the college through regular platforms in college, and start working towards it. I think we all faculty members are looking towards the futuristic enterprises coming out in maximum number from SKN COP. And then you provide the jobs to the next generation pharmacists or science graduates or postgraduates. And this is how I think we are going towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat as a mission. And believe in me that you have a lot of opportunities, and you will get a lot of support from your faculty members, from universities, from central government, state government, private sector, and VCs. Everyone is going to support you, and therefore, without taking much of your time, I request all of you to venture into this kind of venture into the certain ideas, and then see whether we all teachers could help you in developing enterprises. I think I have made it very clear. I believe now we have around 190 students attending. With these words, I wish today's two more lectures, deliberations are going to be more and more fruitful, and I wish you Good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for
Yeah.
your motivational and inspiring words. Before moving to the session, I have to request to all the participants, please keep yourself muted. And if you have any queries, please type in the chat box. We will take up those questions at the end of the session. Yeah. So I request now Arpana Patil ma'am, please proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Vandana madam, and thank you, Savan sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Once again, once again thank you, Vandana madam and Savan sir, for giving me this opportunity to deliver a lecture on innovation. So I welcome you all for the first lecture on innovation as a part of SKN COP's IIC cell. So, like in first step of any entrepreneur or any entrepreneur development is identification of good idea. But then search for good idea, identification of good idea is never easy or has never been easy task. Like whenever we have problems, whenever we have challenges, we have seen a number of challenges during last 1 year from March 2020 till now. So uh, when the problem is there, it comes with the challenges. When the problem challenges come, it comes with the opportunities. And innovation is a tool. Innovation is an act to convert these challenges or problems into um, opportunities. So, recognition of the opportunity can lead to personal as well as societal benefit as well as wealth. So, with this brief preface, with this brief abstract, let's see what I have for you on the innovation. So, we are familiar with many of the terms which comes with and before the innovation, like creativity, jugaad, invention, and then innovation comes. But why innovation is required? What are the innovation drivers? Next, what I have is what is the difference between visible and invisible innovation? What are visible and invisible innovations? What are innovation modules? What are different types of the innovations, keeping in mind the business model? Barriers to the innovation and creativity, innovation myths, ways to surpass these barriers to the innovation, sources of new ideas. What is the process of innovation? What are the principles of innovation? I'll be discussing two case studies. I think out of that, one case study already Sir has discussed. Then Government of India initiatives and Government India, some of the startups. And I have, just for the example, just to encourage you, I have a list of startups which has been shortlisted by Government of India in the financial year 2021. So let's move with our innovation. So what is creativity? Creativity is actually a very vague term. It is a generic term. So to define in simple words, creativity, it is thinking of new things, or it is the ability of to develop the new ideas. Again, it could be a new way of looking at the problem and new way of looking at the opportunities. So creativity basically implies to creating new things or new stuffs by combining two or more existing ideas. So it is abstract and it does not have a reference to quality in regard to any specific situation. So it is just a engagement. So like every human has got creativity. So creativity in human behavior that exists in any human activity. So whatever human activity, each and every human activity comes with a creativity. But then what is exactly creativity? Creativity is not more than nothing more than an exploration with intention of creating something new with and without some kind of value. Now this is one interesting picture I have, and you must have thought of what is this these pictures tells you. These are the pictures of some jugaads in the time of coronavirus. So these are basically very viral jugaads which I found from the internet. So the first example is from the Pune itself. So this is a chemistry teacher who like when she wanted to display what she's writing on the board, because it's a chemistry, little harder subject. So what she used some existing sources which she had. She used ropes, then she used hanger, and then a chair, and she made a tripod out of these two, three things. And then she displayed whatever she was writing, she was explaining on the board properly without any problem, and it was properly displayed to the students. Again, second example is of online teaching, right? So from March 2020, we've been into the online teaching learning. The second example is again from the teacher, and she used two containers from the kitchen and one transparent glass tray from refrigerator. So there is no much investment in this. She can again keep her this tray back in the refrigerator. So what she, with this kind of jugaad, she didn't have to hold her mobile. She placed it on this transparent tray. Below that, she had a paper and she was writing something on that paper, which was properly streamlined, or it was displayed to the students. Third example, again, this was at the top of the viral videos. This cashier from Bank of Baroda used iron to disinfect the checks which he received from the customers. Fourth example, which I find is this milkman, to deliver milk, he used the funnel and the pipe. And this is very interesting. Like everybody likes pani puri, so this is a pani puri wala which is from the Raipur, and which is called as automatic pani puri wala, and his shop is called as not touch me not pani puri. So he used a machine which has got sensors to dispense the flavored waters. So these are what jugaads. And what is jugaad? Jugaad is a Hindi Punjabi word of India, and the English word which I could found for the jugaad is creative hacks. So this is actually non-conventional, frugal or non-conventional hacks. So this is basically jugaad. What are jugaads? Basically, they are temporary solutions to a temporary problem. The problems which are in temporary in nature, and from the available or discarded sources. Like in the first picture, we saw the hanger was used, the rope was used, and then this chair was used. Iron was used in the third situation. The containers were used. So these are like from the available sources. The hack was, or the solution was generated. Jugaad does not necessarily create a new need or new market, as it is not specific to product or process. So if you look at this jugaad, there are two kinds of the jugaads. We have learned many times when I say jugaad, like mostly these pictures come in our mind, or more than this. This is what I found relevant to current situation. So there are two types of the jugaads, like physical jugaads, which are available in the tangible form, okay, the physical output. And the second is social jugaad, which are available in the intangible acts. So these are the intangible acts, and they are related, they play more with the emotions, feelings, and relations. So best example is when we go in the market and we go for we know this is our right of bargaining. And second example which I found is looking for the lift. So jugaads basically provides a quick, cost-effective solution so that acute need is satisfied in a frugal way. Frugal way is non-expensive or inexpensive way. But what is the drawback? Why these jugaads didn't sustain in the market? Why there is no big capture by market capture by these jugaads? Because they do not provide a long-term business solution. Now, next, the important one and the heart of our today's lecture is innovation. And innovation is simple words. If I have to tell you, it's a profitable implementation of ideas, what you get from creativity. Okay. So the bookish definition of innovation is a process or systematic approach in which people work together, they team up on an existing problem so as to improve the quality of the life. So this, whatever innovations you're doing, they are reproducible, they should be repetitive and can be produced on the large scale. This, the tripod which made by first teacher or the second teacher cannot be made on the large scale. So doing new things, the ability to apply creative solutions to those problems and opportunities in order to enhance people's lives or to enrich society is altogether called as innovation. Looking at the things, now in case of innovation, no, who is at the heart of innovation? Who is the focus? Focus is the customer. So looking at the things or looking at the problems from customer's point of view is the innovation. So innovation at the last is about creating value, challenging the culture, and how we look at the things. But before innovation, what one more thing comes is invention. So what is the basic difference between innovation and invention? In both the cases, there is a novelty. But in case of invention, the novelty is limited to the laboratory, and innovation, that invention can be, if that invention can be converted into a production or market value, then that invention becomes innovation. So invention is actually proven novelty, but it is not aimed to be industrially produced or marketed. It may not fulfill any useful customer needs, whereas innovation introduce some new features in the product, some changes in the existing product, some service changes in the services, improvements in the services, which will affect the lifestyle, which will improve the quality of the lifestyle of a customer, and or create new need or market. So if I have to put these two, three things together, what I have is the basic difference between the creativity, invention, and innovation is creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Invention is creation of new idea or concept, and innovation is turning a new concept from invention into commercial success or widespread use. But then what is important is innovation cannot happen without creativity as well as without invention, and neither creativity nor invention is useful in the business if they are not properly executed. And what if you combine these three things, what you get is entrepreneurship, which is creating value in the market, with creativity and innovation, that is thinking new things and doing new things. So next is what are like innovation drivers? Why one should go for innovations? Why what these are also called as survivals. There are many innovation drivers depending upon the situation, depending upon the business, depending upon the market. So these are 5 to 6 innovation drivers I came across. One is the first and the important one is increasing competition. Second is increasing globalization, increasing customer expectations, advancing technology, changing workforce demographics, and changing work life. So let's see what are these drivers in short. So first one is increasing competition. So to survive in the competition, this is the typical reason for encouraging innovations in the business. So like when you enter into the business, when you go in the market, you see many medical shops, then many grocery shops. Like competition is there in the market from new as well as existing competitors. Day by day, the competitors, new and more competitors are entering, and the main burden is from the of the competition is from the startups. And these newer competitors are getting smarter, faster, and hitting the market with new and exciting products more rapidly with the revolving new technology. Also, innovation cycles are becoming shorter and shorter day by day. The meaning of this is like during in short span of time, many products are coming in the market. Here I would like to give you one example of is Apple phones, like iPhones. When the first model of the iPhone was launched, only single model was launched in the year 2007, and it had a storage capacity of just 16 GB. But if you look the models which came later, slowly the storage capacity was increased from say 18 to 32, then 64, sorry, then 256 and 512 GB currently. And it has also been observed that until 2019 or till 2019, around on an average 2 to 3 iPhone models were introduced in the market. But in the last year, in the 2020, around 5 models had been launched by the Apple company. So this is innovation. More and more innovations are happening in a shorter span of time. This is because of the advancing technologies. So increasing competitions, to tackle this increasing competitions, there are two approaches used. One is the copy and mimic competitors. Okay, just follow them. Whatever they do, just follow them blindly. And second is launch the disruptive products in the market. So that is disruptive innovation. We'll come to these type of innovations in next few slides. But then those who win this competition, no, winning companies do not follow others. So they do not go for the first approach, that is copy and mimic, even those who follow, no, they will not survive in the market. So they have to come with something new. They have to bring they should bring some innovative products, or they should bring some existing products with the additional features. It is not that only product and services require innovations, but organization need innovative processes and management that can drive for what one is the down the cost, that is reduce the cost of the product, of the service, improve the productivity, increase the quality of product as well as service, then raise employee engagement and increase customer satisfaction and loyalty. So this is first driver, very first driver for the innovation. Second driver is increasing globalization. What is what is globalization basically? It is interaction and integration of people, companies, and even governments of the nations. Because of this interaction and integration, world is shrinking and everybody has a access of the global market. But what is the problem? Like earlier, what used to happen is the competitors were only from the local or at the max national, they were national competitors. But because of this global market access, number and type of competitors are increasing. Suppose like if I manufacture in India something like diagnostic kit or any tablet or capsule, and if I have to market, launch it in Western or Eastern market, I have to first study the competitors of that market. I have to find out how many competitors or how many industries, companies I'll be competing with, and type of the competitors of that market. So not only to survive, but to grow rapidly in the changing and global environment, I will not have option but to launch innovation program to attract new customers and open new markets. So those will survive in this due to global competition, due to global increasing globalization. Those who will take this changing world market as an opportunity and who will take the advantage of it. Only those companies, those industries, those people will survive in this competition. Third is increasing consumer expectations. Now, this is why, because with the use of social media and the continuing advancement of the technology, marketing will become increasingly personalized for each customer. Suppose if I buy something, or suppose my friend buys something from the online, any online shopping site. But then if I want to buy, I may want something new again in that product. So this is my expectations. Every day by day, customer consumer expectations are increasing. So there could be, this can be considered as an opportunity for innovations in marketing, advertisement to gain and retain the customers. Current consumers like we people are more informed. We are reading, we are exploring more and more options and has number of options. High consumer expectations which are continuously growing, and nobody will stop from this, like consumer expectations. So for this, innovation should be at the core of the business strategy, and without innovations, your product, your service will be irrelevant to the consumers. Next is advancing technology. So like startups, as I told you, startups and small and mid-sized companies are becoming more technologically sophisticated. So in this case, for those companies, for even incumbent existing companies, innovation should be technologically driven. Like we are using social media channels, different social medias like Facebook, Twitter, then what we have is WhatsApp, we have Instagrams, we are getting communicated and connected with these social media channels. But then maybe in near future, we may expect some other social media channels for the communication or connection. So this is because of the advancing technology. One more example, relevant example is 3D printing technology, and which has hit the manufacturing industry a lot. With the 3D printing technology, it is possible to produce the prototypes of your ideas in inexpensive and quicker way. It is also possible to produce and design and produce the parts that were difficult to produce with the earlier fabrication technology. So without the use of technology, lifespan of your business is going to reduce. So innovations is required in the technology. Next driver of innovation is changing workforce demographic. What is workforce? Workforce means employees, the people working in the company, in the industry. So there is a diversity in the workforce, diversity in terms of race, ethnicity, age, nationality, and gender. But then there are two, like if you look at the diversity, advantage of this is because of this diversity in the workforce, these employees have a broader ideas and different diverse skills. Plus, along with this, what challenge comes is to the company is recruiting and engagement. But if the company, if that particular industry look at this challenge as an opportunity, they will do wonders in the business. Next is, and the last driver of this competition is changing how we work. Look at the situation. This today's lecture is going online. Otherwise, if there was no pandemic, we could have delivered. I could have delivered this lecture offline. But because this pandemic has totally changed how we work, how we live. So workforce is becoming more and more social and more mobile. More tools are required to facilitate learning, communication, and collaboration. And enhanced social interaction has because of the enhanced social interactions, value of transactions are replaced by value of relationship. The next in this class is visible and invisible innovation. You can, to understand very clearly, or you can consider this as product versus process innovation. So visible innovation is from the end user perspective, which you actually see. These innovations are product driven innovations. For example, if I want to go and buy a bike or any vehicle, what will be my question? What is the mileage? What is how much is the fuel consumption? Or even if I go to buy a mobile, what will be my question? Like, what is a battery life? How long my battery life, mobile battery life or battery will sustain? So these are actually product driven changes. So innovations are required in the product. So these are visible. You actually can see the added features to the product. Whereas invisible innovations, these are in short called as behind the scene innovations. Like when you are getting a good vehicle or a mobile, through different innovations, you don't actually see steps. Suppose last year that in automation, around 8 to 10 steps were there. But then because of the advancement in the technology, revolutionary technology, the number of steps reduced to say maybe 4 or 5. But then you don't see those reduced steps. So this is called as behind the scene animation, invisible animation, and these are usually based back of our house and ultimately aimed at saving steps and bettering the brand experience. What are innovation modules? Innovation modules, there are basically 4 types of the innovation modules. The innovation, what is innovation is actually production of totally new product or service or a process. For example, like in innovation, we have airplanes, then we have light bulbs, we have telephones. These are the totally new product entered into the market so far untried. What is extension? Extension is it involves new use or application of an already existing product, service, or process. So for this, I have like example like mainframe computers to the desktop and then to the laptop, and now we have mobiles in our hand. So this is extension of the telephones, or say extension of the desktops. Second example would be the Gillette razor. Earlier, it used to come with the single blade, but nowadays the Gillette razors which are marketed comes with a multiple blades. Third innovation module is duplication. It is just a replication of an already existing product, service, or process. But then it is not just a copy paste, right? So it comes with some creative touch to enhance or improve the existing concept. The best examples are resorts or franchises or supply chains of the food industry. And the last innovation module is synthesis. So what is synthesis? It is combination of existing concept and ideas and devising a way so that together they may form a new application. So what example comes in mind is the fax machine. So they come with the photocopier and the telephone. So they have combined these two innovations, that is telephone and photocopier machine, to get a fax machine. If you keep in business, if you keep in mind the business model, there are four types of the innovations. And the picture which you have in front of you is called as innovation matrix, and which classifies business models on the two dimensions. That is the innovation impact on the market because of that innovation, and which technology is it using, whether is it using existing technology, low grade technology, old technology, or it is using newer technology. So technology newness and impact on the market are the two dimensions used to classify different types of innovation. There are again many other types of innovations depending upon the dimensions. If you change dimensions, different kinds of innovations will come. So first innovation is incremental innovation. So incremental innovation is to develop your existing product. So you are developing, you are making little changes and making your product better than the previous version or service, and has only slight variation on an existing product formulation or service delivery method. So look here where the incremental innovation is placed. It's a gradual continuous improvements on the market, product and services. So it uses the existing technology, and because of the slow improvements, it has got very little impact on the market. So it does not create a new market. It is in the same market. Again, I have few examples I got. Again, this is an example of a Gillette razor. Then look at this light, indoor lights, like from candle, normal bulb to CFL, and then smart bulbs. Then the smartphone industry, changes in the iPhone is an incremental innovation, and best example is the old insulin pumps and current insulin pumps. Again, this is the best example for incremental innovation. This equipment or instrument which we have for measuring pulse rate and BP is only available with the physicians and some of the nurses. But this instrument, this everybody must be having it in their homes. So incremental innovation is common among the technology consumer companies and makers of the electrical devices. I hope everybody is very much familiar with this diagram or this picture. What is it? It's a pulse oximeter. And I'm sure that who all are attending this lecture, everybody must be having this pulse oximeter at their home. So this is the old version. Then this is a little improvement. And then this is the version which we have currently available in the market. After incremental innovation, we have a disruptive innovation. So the name itself tells you it disrupts the market. It will launch a new product, and it may create a new market sometimes even. So this is the concept is introduced by professor, academic and business consultant Clayton Christensen, first in an Harvard Business Review article, and later in his book called as Innovator's Dilemma. So it's a concept. Disruptive innovation is a product or a service that creates completely a new value network, either by entering in the existing market or by creating completely new market. So it's a new product, maybe in the existing market or maybe in the completely new market. Generally, disruptive innovations tend to be produced by outsiders and entrepreneurs in the startups, because they generally come with the revolving and advances in the technology. So involves newer technology or newer business model. However, the limitations or problem associated with disruptive innovations are initial, they have got lower margins, at least in the beginning. If the consumers accept their product, their technology, then they will have a greater margin in the market, and they have got a higher risk of acceptance, because that is again at the start. The concept here in the disruptive is connect the disconnected. There are many examples in the market which follows disruptive innovation. So video streaming, the best example, and everybody must be using this. Netflix have completely disrupted the cable operators. Wikipedia versus traditional encyclopedia. Wikipedia is like online. If I stuck at some problem, or if I'm having some problem, if I want to find out something, I enter it in the Google, and what I get is a big information in the form of Wikipedia. And nobody, because of this, nobody will use and go and buy these traditional heavy big encyclopedias. 3D printing has disrupted the market. Online education has disrupted traditional classroom teaching, and even uh, li-fi technology. Can anybody tell me what is this li-fi technology, and what is this related to? Does anybody know? Does anybody can you can raise your hands if you know what is this li-fi technology? Or anybody knows what is the full form of Wi-Fi technology? Yeah, I think one person had raised a hand. No. So fine, actually Wi-Fi is wireless fidelity. Sorry? Okay, so Wi-Fi is actually wireless fidelity, which uses sound waves, which uses radio frequency. And Li-Fi is going to be our future. Li-Fi is light fidelity technology. And it has been found that it has been evaluated that Li-Fi technology is 100 times better, 100 times, if you consider the speed, 100 times better than the Wi-Fi technology. See, in case of Wi-Fi, we need to use the router. And when on the same router, if number of customers, number of users increases, what happens? It gets saturated and automatically our speed goes down. Whereas Li-Fi technology uses the light source, maybe LED bulbs or any source of light, infrared. And if you look at uh, the speed or bandwidth frequency, it is approximately 2 lakh gigahertz if you compare it with the 5 gigahertz for the Wi-Fi. And we mostly download no videos and then movies and then pictures. Download rate for using Li-Fi technology is approximately 40 gigabits per second versus 300 megabits for Wi-Fi technology. So in near future, we can expect that everybody will be using Li-Fi technology. So you don't have to carry the router. You just, if you have a light source, maybe anywhere in the any kind of light source, Li-Fi technology will be there. So it is going to completely disrupt the Wi-Fi technology. Next, third in the series we have is radical technology. Radical itself tells you it creates a new market. Even though I found some people were saying it is rare as it has similar characteristic to disruptive innovation, but is different in a way that it simultaneously uses revolutionary technology and new business model. Have you people identified what is this? What are these two pictures for, which I have posted here? Does anybody know what are these pictures? You must be familiar, you must be aware of these than me.
Yes, ma'am.
What is this? The first one is
Amazon.
Amazon what? Echo, and second one is the same product, similar kind of product, which is Alexa. Even I have Alexa in my home. If I just say, Alexa, what is today's climate? It will immediately display and it will tell me, this is today's climate for Pune. If I ask him, Alexa, please play songs for A.R. Rahman songs, it will start playing all A.R. Rahman songs. If I ask him, Alexa, pause, it will pause. I don't have to type anything. I don't have to go to the YouTube, right? So it is all based upon my voice modulation, based upon the voice. So this is actually a revolutionary technology. Even we have smart bulbs which are connected with this Amazon other products, right? So Amazon smart bulbs we have. So it takes an existing system, design or innovation, design, and turns it into something brand new. So this is all revolutionary technology. If a new invention or an industry is putting others out of the business, if that invention or that industry is kicking the existing companies from the market or destroying an entire industry, that is probably the radical innovation. It creates new information or product that transform the industry, and they are similar to the disruptive innovators, but rather than entering and the existing market, they create an entirely new market for their product. But I'm sure slowly, this will capture a big market in near future. So best example again I have is, see, Netflix, Uber, they are continuously doing innovation, and that is why they are sustaining in the market. They are capturing new customers. They are retaining their old customers. This is all why is it happening. This is all because of the different innovations at different stages of their business. They are doing innovations. So Netflix versus Blockbuster, you must be knowing the story, right? I'll share with you, like Netflix and Blockbuster. Blockbuster was the first, which was founded in around 1985 for giving the videos on rental basis, right? And Netflix, see, Blockbuster was founded in 1985. 12 years later, Netflix came into the market, and see where is Blockbuster and where is Netflix. Around in 2000, maybe in 1994, the valuation of the Blockbuster was around $8.3 billion, and still in 1994, Netflix was not there. When in 1997, Netflix came, for 3 years, it did not capture, it did not do any profit till 2000. And then in 2000, what happened? Like Netflix CEO, then CEO Hastings, approached the Blockbuster CEO for merger. But then that time, that CEO did not accept the Netflix offer, and it just rejected it. But then in 2010, after 1994, the valuation of Blockbuster started declining, and in 2000, from 8.3 billion, it came to 50 million for Blockbuster. In 2000, around in 2000, Netflix started the streaming, what do you have, those videos, right, by mail. And then it slowly grows, and now in 2020, when Blockbuster is not there in market, the net valuation of Netflix is around $203 billion. So this is completely, they have used revolutionary technology. Even if you see the tractors by John Deere, there are sensors which will sense the changes in the environment. Apple iPhone as a handheld computer. So this is all, they have used some revolutionary technology, new business model, and they are there in the market capturing more and more market. Next is sustain or routine innovation, and most of the examples are from pharmaceutical industry. This is opposite to the disruptive innovation. It exists in the current market, and instead of creating new value or networks, it improves and grows the existing ones. Then you will see what is the difference between incremental based innovation and sustaining innovation. Look at this, the impact they have. Incremental innovation have got very low impact on the market, but sustaining innovations will have a more impact on the market. So this also happens on the incremental basis, but the rate at which these incremental innovations are happening will have an impact on the market in response to the customers and market demands or improvements in the technology. So pharmaceutical industries have to innovate as per the market demands. See, the vaccines from different pharmaceutical companies working with the established market with the pre-existing products and ideas enhances and improves or improves the performance and makes things better. It focuses on the needs of the current customer as well as on the current need. What is the current need? Vaccines for the corona infection. So it improves performance at a lower cost, customer is believable, and market is predictable. So smartphone market, Uber, and then these pharmaceutical industries are the main examples, main industries which are going for sustaining innovation. The innovation which is not placed on this matrix is architectural innovation. It is enter a new market, like involves taking the components or infrastructure from one sector and introducing them to a completely new market. So this is actually, you don't as it is copy paste, or you don't as it is transfer one technology to the from one sector to the other sector. It is not going to help you out. You need some reorientation, you need some repacking rather than total reinvention. Similar example from the pharmaceutical industry could be, see, drug repurposing, drug reposition. Already drugs have been proved safe and efficacious In drug repurposing, what you are doing is same drug, you are exploring them from the other uses. Again, best examples are there antiviral drugs, and can only be successful when you fully understand the needs of your new market. When you are doing this, when you are going for architectural innovation, you need to closely monitor the communications around the product and services. You need a feedback, and you should be able to, with this feedback, you should be able to rapidly adjust if the market need are not being addressed. If they are not fulfilled, you have to go for. So you have to be with a flexible technology. So one example which I got was long back in maybe in 80s, 70, close to 70, NASA's Ames Research Center was trying to improve safety of the aircraft cushion. Now, cushions, if we have, in what cushions comes in front of you, like these slow spring back foams, which nowadays are called as memory foams. And where do we find them? We find them in the mattresses. Before these memory foams were used in the mattresses, they were commercialized for the medical. They're used in the commercial in the medical tables as well as in the sports equipment. So see, where is your memory foam in the mattresses, then in the medical and sports instruments, and the same kind of foams in the aircraft cushion. But then as it is, we cannot use these memory foams. You need some reorientation, repacking. So these are kind of 5 innovations you can consider: incremental innovation, radical innovation, disruptive innovation, sustaining innovation, and architectural innovation. What innovation they are doing, what technology they are using, what impact these innovations have in the market will, uh, uh, based upon that, they are categorized or they are placed on the market. Again, see, what is this? This is again some interesting picture with the 3 colors, and this is a wheel, which is called as innovation wheel. So, see, development of a product from scratch or scrap is a single way of innovating. But there is one reputed firm called as Doblin. It is an innovation firm who evaluated, who examined more than 2,000 past innovations. And what they concluded that for getting a breakthrough product, for getting a breakthrough service, combinations of different innovations are required. So if you look at this innovation and if you count the number of kind of innovations that will happen, they are around 10. So these 10 types of innovations have been placed in the on the wheel depending upon where the innovation is happening. Like for example, this wheel is again divided into 3 categories: configuration, offerings, and experience. So configuration is how you are innovating inside the industry. So these are basically internal innovations. Second type of innovations are offerings, like what service you are offering, what is the product you are offering, what is the performance of the product, are innovations in this. And then third one is experience. So these are customer facing innovations in service, in channels, in brands, and uh, customer engagement. So first 4, like how you make money, that is profit model; networking, how you make connections to create the value; how do you channelize, how do you uh, uh, control the supply chain; how you align, how alignment of your talent and assets in the structure; and signature or superior methods for doing your work comes in the configuration type of innovation. I would like to give you example for the structure, like alignment of your talent. Like every employer has got a diverse work space. Like he has got number of each and every employee is different from the other. So Google 20% rule you must be familiar with. What Google allowed his employees to work on the side project. Main project they were working, and they were allowed to work on the side project. And the result of that side project is Gmail. See, everybody, even you people registered whatever Google form link I gave you, and for that you need to log into your Gmail account. So this is Google's 20% rule. And second example is, everybody knows, MACDs. Okay, so this is internal innovation in MACD. Was it allowed and it suggested their franchisees to prepare and launch their own any food item, right? And the result of that is egg McMuffins for the MACD, and it has captured more market in the it has captured a big market. Second is offerings, product performance and product system, like distinguishing features and functionality. Again, here the example is Gillette razor. Product performance, product system, complementary products and services. Example is iPhone. If I have to organize music in my iPhone, I need iTunes. iTunes doesn't is not a single app we need. It comes along with some 2, 3 more apps. If I have to use what you have is a smart bulb from Amazon. I need these systems like Amazon Echo or Amazon Alexas. Next category is experience, like service, channels, brand, and customers. So these are actually customer facing innovations, and uh, you have to be very careful when you are launching such kind of innovations. What are barriers? So these are about type of innovations. Next we have is barrier to the innovations. Why? Like we have a population around 138 crore in India. Why we do not have 138 crore innovations? Why everybody is not innovating? Why even me is I do not have 10 innovations on my name? There are some barriers. Something is stopping us from innovating, from being creative, right? So there are around 7, 8, 9, 10 barriers. There are more barriers basically, but these are what are the standard ones. Searching for one right answer. Like we will think if somebody gives you one challenge, we will think like I have to find the correct answer. I have to find the correct answer, but not necessarily any all challenges or all problems will have one right answer. So depending on the problem, many solutions may be applicable. So you have to brainstorm and find out what could be the optional answers. Focusing on being logical. So logical thinking can restrict the creativity. Blindly following the rules. Sometimes breaking existing rules allow us to see new ways of doing things. But then you cannot go and break the traffic rules, right? So fourth barrier could be constantly being practical. So breaking away from practicality frees the mind to consider creative solutions that otherwise might never arise. Viewing play as a frivolous, becoming overly specialized. If I give you a pharmacy problem, if I give you only pharmaceutics problem, formulation related problem, and if you try to find out only that area related solution, then you're not going to innovate. You have to broaden your areas of thinking. You can use knowledge of other fields also. Avoiding ambiguity, fearing looking foolish, fearing mistakes and failures. So if I ask you a question, nobody will answer. Like there are 200 participants. If I ask you a question, uh, before answer comes in your mind, what comes in your mind is if my answer goes wrong, people will laugh at me. But then accept, even if it is wrong answer, accept failing as an important part of learning, development, and process. Somewhere in our college, I read um, mistake is the first step in, or failure is the first step in success. So accept failure, take the advantage of that failure, learn from your failures, and believing that I am not creative. As in initial slides only, I told you every human act is creative. So believe in yourself. You should have a confidence. So successful entrepreneur will have or are will have a should be confident. If you want to be successful entrepreneur, you should be confident, you should believe in yourself, and you should believe in your ability. Along with these barriers, what else comes is innovation myths. See, why am I telling you this is you should uh, look at each and every challenge as a opportunity. So innovation is planned and predictable. No, nobody plans innovations. That these are sudden happenings. These are sometimes innovations, ideas come from the accidents even. Today I'm planning. Today I'll say I'll tomorrow I'm going to innovate. Nothing. This is not going to happen. Technical specifications should be thoroughly prepared in advance. These are myths. Creativity relies on dreams and blue sky ideas. Big projects will develop better innovations than the smaller ones. Then why the small startups are there in the market which are becoming more and more successful? Technology is driving force of the innovation and success. These all are myths. So if I know barriers, what are the different ways you can avoid those barriers? There could be more approaches. You yourself can find out the best approach for your barrier. So first is knowledge accumulation, reading and more reading. We say no in Marathi, vachal ta vachal. So it's the same like that, reading and more reading, attending professional conferences, talking to stalwarts from the field, visit to the library, is first way of avoiding barriers for innovation. Incubation process, exercise, at least try whatever idea you have, get it on the paper, then get it in the small form. Idea, eureka experience, slowly but surely formulate the solution. And evaluation and implementation, like evaluation of your idea, evaluation of your prototype, take the suggestions from your employees, from your friends, and implement that idea. From where do we get the ideas? There is a, like, world is open. Look at the world with your open eyes. So everywhere you will find a source of idea, like technology, feedback from the customers, your competitors, maverick, government regulations. Like if you go visit government of India patent office, the files which are there in the patent office, they themselves have got many good ideas. Distribution channels, like members of the distribution channels, feedback from them would be the will be giving you the ideas for the marketing. Management, employees itself will have a great ideas. Suppliers and economy can give you a number of ideas, and this list is actually unending. There are big number of sources of ideas. What is process of innovation? Process of innovation is actually uh, how you move from germination, that is generation of the idea, to the implementation of the idea, or say marketing of the idea. So innovation process is categorized into three broad processes, like conception, like requirement analysis, idea generation, then idea evaluation, and then you plan depending upon result from the idea evaluation. Then implementation, development or construction, prototype development, pilot application, and then testing. And last one is marketing, that is production, market launch, and penetration. So this is again in detail. These three phases further are divided into six stages, like ideation, concept design, prototyping. So if you have idea, then you, by with the creative mind, with your team, you design a concept. This way I want. Then you prepare it, prototype, then detailed design, then implementation is actual business model innovation, and then advancement in the diversity. So idea generation and making, that is germination stage and mobilization. So germination of idea is the starting line of new idea. I want to invent, this is my idea. In mobilization stage, what is mobilization? Basically, this is the mobilization. Idea is moving from the first step to next, all practical or logical steps. Advocacy and idea screening. So here you're testing whatever idea you have, you're evaluating that idea for pros and cons. And with this, you are weeding out the ideas that lack the potential before your stakeholders are completely rejecting just on the basis of the novelty. So you yourself first test the idea. Then experimentation, like you're checking the feasibility, test the sustain, and whether it will sustain in the market, whether my idea will sustain in the market for particular organization at a particular time in a particular environment. So you're checking the feasibility, practicability of the your idea. Commercialization. So here you are again checking whether my idea, my prototype is actually solving the problem of the customer in the reduced cost with added benefits. And last one is diffusion and implementation, that is final end, final completion of the innovation. And this is diffusion and implementation are two sides of the same coin. So diffusion is actually acceptance by the employees, and implementation is acceptance by the your customers. And implementation is the process of setting up the structure, maintenance, and resources needed to produce it. So this is 6 steps are there in process of innovation. As we are going to the end of this lecture, this I found something interesting. And who is this? Can anybody guess? And everybody must be familiar with this picture. Can
Steve
anybody
Jobs.
tell me? He is the Steve Jobs, and he is a great innovator, great philosopher who gave us some principles of the innovations. So first innovation, and we are listening from since our childhood is do what you love. So follow your passion, and innovations, ideas, and creativity will follow the one who follows their passion with the hard work and persistence. So this is first principle of innovation: do what you follow. Second is put a dent in the universe. So it is what vision of a person for his business. He should widen his business. He should widen his vision. He should look at each and everything. He find out the potential which others cannot see it. So widening of the vision. Start your business. So inspiration for innovation. I told you many sources of innovation. So inspiration for innovation can be from anywhere and at any time. Even small kid can be a source of innovation, could be an inspiration for innovation. Many like small toys, they are, who is the inspiration for those innovations? It's again the kids. Sell dreams and not products. So innovation in the process of marketing. So Steve Jobs actually doesn't look at his customers as a customer. Okay, so he produces, he prepares, or he innovates the product which will fulfill the dream of the user. So sell dreams and not the product. Say no to thousand things. So eliminate. Your product has to be very simple. It should be uncluttered. It should not be complicated. Same is for the service. Create great experiences, creating an emotional bond with the customers, and master the message. That is be a great storyteller. Launch of each and every iPhone or any Apple product comes with a big story. So this is the innovation you attract customers. So this is the first study which actually Sir gave the idea about this case study, and these are actually four mechanical students. This is an innovation has happened, very recent innovation which happened after March 2020. So look at these four people. These are the four students of VIT College from Pune, mechanical engineering students. And when we started with the online, everybody had started online teaching learning. So these mechanical students, and we know how, like, there are many drawings, and drawings are there in mechanical engineering. So when they had a problem for understanding, no, they were thinking, and they came with the product which is called as virtual whiteboard, and that replaces the blackboard and aids the teacher in online classes. And as Sir rightly said, we have purchased more than, I think, 30 such SAPs. If I'm not wrong, these are the names of these four students. SAP, I think it's a Sid, and a main applicant for this patent is the Sid, then Aniket, Pranav, and this Sanket. So this is a SAP we are using. Their innovation can be displayed for used for displaying notes. So here, if you see the laptop, no, this SAP is attached to the webcam. Inside of that is the mirror actually, and then uh, through this mirror on the webcam, what is seen is seen. This is a screen which has been shared. So laptop keyboard is visible, but if I place a paper on this, and if I write something, if I derive equations, if I draw a diagram, it will automatically be available or will be displayed to the students. So the device reflects the pages or notes that are kept on the keyboard, and reflected images is further delivered to the webcam of the laptop. See, they have filed a patent in November 20. This is not even 6 month old patent. So, and they have launched their own startup SAPS products to kickstart their sales. And with a mere investment of 4,500, they have achieved the sale of 2.5 lakh worth in India as well as abroad. And approximately to 750 products have been sold in Indian market, Australia, USA, and New Zealand. So this is very small, very handy, and we people are using it. And nothing, there is no, I don't think there is a great investment. A small mirror they have, and I think we purchased it for maybe 300 or 350, and they provided us the stand also for the mobile. Second case study I have is the development of this kit for early pregnancy diagnosis from cattle urine. So this is called as PregVDate, and this was innovated, or this device was developed by student Amit Lokhande from ICT Mumbai last year for the purpose of detecting early pregnancy from the cattle. What other methods available for the detection of pregnancy? They need minimum, I think, 30 plus days to detect the pregnancy in cattle, and they are invasive. They need, and they are not affordable. So with this kind of kits, small pregnancy detection kit, it gives instant result on the farm. No sample processing is required. It uses urine. Instrumentation and setup is not required on the field. So it's a simple, rapid, invasive, non-invasive, and affordable kit available. And this is invented by a pharma student, okay, PhD pharmaceutics student. So this Amit presented his this device or this innovation in Global Innovation Phase 2019 South Korea, along with 4 more Indian startups were competing with 100 startups from the all over world. So these are the 2 case studies, and these are the innovations not by any teachers, mentors. Teachers could have assisted them in guiding, but the main idea came from the student. So 2 case studies. These are top pharma innovations like precision medicine, M-health sensors to the mobiles, 3D printing for the development or printing or manufacturing of the tablet. Nanotechnology is again a great innovation. Nanobots, synthetic 3D tumors to study effect of drugs in vitro. So you don't need actual patient with a tumor. You have this synthetic 3D tumors, and you can study your effect of the drug, its safety, efficacy, whether it is really curing tumor or no. Bioinformatics, localized drug delivery, drug experimentation in simulation, like softwares are there, simulation softwares are there, cell-free fetal DNA testing for the in this technology, simple mother blood was used for testing any abnormalities in the fetal, robotic surgery, and wireless brain sensors. Big list is there. More innovations are coming in pharma industry. So this is actually the initiatives by government of India to promote startups. So this is a site which I have for Startup India government. So with initiatives of government of India, 4,100 plus startups have benefited in the last year through various programs of the central government. 960 crore of funding has been enabled to startups through various schemes, and 828 crore sanctions funds have been sanctioned only for the infrastructure development. They provide tax exemptions and legal support for in patent filing. So see, like government is taking initiative for developing startups and all. This is again along with these initiatives, notable startups by government of India are Atmanirbhar Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan or Self-Reliant Indian Movement. Then we have is Make in India initiative. We have Atal Innovation Mission, Startup India Innovation Initiatives, Startup State Government Startup Initiatives, and many more initiatives or startups are launched by the Indian government. With these initiatives, with the assistance provided by the government, many uh, students are innovating, and they are going for the startup proposals. So this is a list of student innovations or startup proposals selected for receiving funding and support and incubation linkage for financial year 2021 last year at IIC MIC AICT. So out of this is a list of 17 startups, and if you find this list, from this list, I found three pharma startups. So one is from the Gujarat LM College of Pharmacy. They got a fund of 4.5 lakh from AICT. Then the kit which I was talking about, this kit for the early pregnancy detection in cattle from ICT Mumbai, they got a maximum sanction of rupees 5 lakhs. And from the same company, from same college, this is a kit for blood group detection. So they also got a sanction. So these are the see what is it? It's a student startup. So what is innovation at the end is it's about action, it's about connection, and it is about deviation. So action, connection, and deviation gives you innovation. With this, I end my today's lecture. Thank you all. Vandana madam, over to you.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
You are audible.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you, Arpana, for this wonderful session. I hope everybody is listening, and if you have any question or any queries, please ask or please raise your hand. We will unmute those participants. Hello.
Yeah, you are audible, madam.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great session, Arpana madam. Like you have given wonderful insight into the innovation, especially about different type of innovation. It could be incremental or sustainable. Maybe you don't have a high impact, but like you can sustain in the market. Apart from that, you have a radical or disruptive technology-based innovation. It was good. Here, I would like to add one quote from Barbara Corcoran. She's an American businesswoman, and she wisely said that finding opportunity is a matter of believing it, that it is there. Yeah, so it is always the opportunities are around, and you have to look for it. And it is like your passion or your deviation and your connection that matters. You have to look for the opportunity, and every problem has a solution. That solution could be a simple, but like you have to work towards it. So with this, I really thank Arpana madam, Savan sir, and hello, Savan sir. Hello.
Hello. You are audible, madam. I think he's.
Savan sir, he's not there. I just want whether he want to add something so that before concluding, if you want to add some few words.